Hi everyone, my name is 𝐒𝐻 and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be giving you a little update on my reading journal. I've been using this journal for a few months now. I kind of set it up a little bit later in the year, but I've been really enjoying using this journal. I'm not someone that is a crazy reader, so I do have a bit of a unique reading journal, something that suits my needs. If you haven't seen my reading journal set up yet, it will be right here at the top of the screen. You can go check it out. For this reading journal at the start, I kind of went for like a bit of a academia reading theme. Here I have my rating system that has not changed yet. My first setup is my places I've visited. I've really been enjoying looking at this map. It's very satisfying to look at. For my bookshelf, I did go ahead and I did write in all of my physical copies or physical books. So once I read them, then I'll color in the books. When I wrote them, I have a few sets of books, so I wanted to put all the sets together. So this section here is the Witcher series. I have the entire set that was bought for me as a gift by my brother. So I have the entire Witcher set. I haven't started reading yet, but I'm quite excited to start those books. And just a few other random books that I have. Continuing to my audiobook section, I think a lot of you would be proud to know that I read or listened to my first audiobook, it was so nice. I really enjoyed it. So I haven't chosen a specific audiobook app yet, but I did find The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson. Bernay. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. So I listened to the audiobook on YouTube for free and I really enjoyed listening to this book. This book, The Secret Garden, is also on my classics list because, as you might have heard in my previous video, I am trying to get into more classic literature. Here is my 100 books. So for this, I have physical, audio, and Kindle books in my 100 books list. For this year, I've read 7 books, which is about a book a month-ish. Some months I read a lot more than others if I have the time or if I'm going through a phase. So I might read 2 or 3 books a month, and then for the next 3 or 4 months, I'll read 1 book. So this kind of depends on my schedule, but I just went ahead and colored these in just so that you can still see the number through it with my gold Jelly Roll pen. This is a copper pen, and for some reason when I used it, I hadn't used it in a while, and I don't know if I have to shake it or something, but it came out pink. So I have no idea why that happened. It still glitters, but not a lot. So I might have to either change the pen or shake it. I don't know. We'll have to see. But yes, so that one was an audiobook, and then the first 6 were Kindle books. My reading log, as you can see, haven't been reading crazy amount. At the moment I'm busy with Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reed, started in June. We're almost finished or midway through July, so I still have time. In January, I did A Cursed Covenant, Beautiful Demons, A Castle of Dusk and Shadows, Captivated, A Viking History, There's No Business Like Magic, which I did not finish. Wasn't a great book, wasn't a big fan. April, I did Era of the Moon, which was alright. And now I'm busy with Juniper and Thorn, which I absolutely love. It's such a good book. I usually read it at night before I go to bed, but it's a really good read. This is probably going to be a 5-star read for me. I do have space on the back for when this card eventually is full. I don't know if I've mentioned in this video, but I have in my previous videos. This reading journal is not a yearly reading journal. This is definitely a reading journal that I'm going to be using for multiple years. That's why I'm not too bothered with rushing through it and making sure that I fill in these cards within this year. If I do end up filling in this card, I can always add another one into the pocket. My first sentences page. This has been really fun. So instead of starting here, I did start here because I'm a bit ADHD. I like to start there and continue over. So I did start writing the first sentences of each book. I included a few of the Harry Potter books. I included this one from She and Her Cat. And of course, Juniper and Thorn, the one that I'm currently busy reading. The first line or first sentence of that book is, I checked under my bed, but the monster was gone. I think this page is going to be really, really cool once I've finished everything. Or once the page is full, I think it'll be really cool. My favorite quotes. This one I don't fill in regularly. This is just because if I write a quote in here, it's something that really resonates with me or sticks with me. So in She and Her Cat, there was a quote saying, no human is always strong, but no human is weak forever either. So I quite enjoyed that quote, so that's why I wrote that in here. Genre tracker, I've been writing in the names. So I've started with a few classics. I started reading Charlotte's Web with some of my grade 2 students. So they've been really enjoying it. And I've actually never read the Charlotte's Web. It wasn't in our curriculum, so I've never read it. It's actually quite fun to read it with my students for the first time as well. So we're both getting that experience and enjoying it together. The Secret Garden, obviously that was the audiobook I listened to, and that's, I believe, counts as a read. I don't know, what do you think? Do you think audiobooks count as reading a book? I think so. Here I have my book bingo. I've only done one, I think. I'll have to check, but I read a book originally published in another language. So this bingo is also for multiple years. So I'm not too bothered about rushing through it and making sure that I hit all of them. I know that eventually I will. I do own graphic novels. I can speak Afrikaans, so I still have a list of Afrikaans books that I want to read. Binged a book in a day. I've done that before, a few years ago, but I've done it before, so it's definitely possible. If a book hits well and I'm on holiday, that'll probably happen. Next up is my yearly setup pages. So these pages are specifically for this year. So here you can see I just have a basic 2024 heading here just to kind of make it stand out. I have my 2024 book bracket. She and Her Cat is definitely one of my favorite books, so she's in there. And Juniper and Thorn will most definitely go into one of these brackets because it's such a good book. And then of course at the end of the year I will fill in my favorite book for the year. Days read tracker. I have January until December here. I don't use this every day. I do have habit trackers in my bullet journal that I fill in. I usually have a reading habit there. So maybe once a month I'll kind of copy those dates over to here, just because I don't open this book every day. I have my fantasy bingo. So I still want to read a book on my shelf, Enemies to Lovers. I did read a gothic fantasy, which I was able to check off. A lot of these things are, or these prompts are books that I already plan on reading. So I think I should be able to finish most of these at the end of the year. And then I have my classic book challenge. This is, I almost want to say, been my biggest focus since I've started this reading journal, just because it's something I really want to do. I do have To Kill a Mockingbird in a physical copy, so I'm going to be reading that. I did The Secret Garden, and now I have added Charlotte's Web here as well. Some of these books I'm thinking that I will probably do in audiobooks, just because it'll probably be faster and easier to do while I'm busy working, marking tests or grading papers. Book club ideas. So my best friend and I, Laura, we still haven't started our book club. It's on the to-do list for this year. Cut us some slack. We're both quite busy, so we'll get to that. I have a few ideas here that I got off of social media. The fantasy, The Night Circus, historical drama, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, fantasy, The Midnight Library, and a short stories book, Her Body and Her Part and Other Parts. So I think that's like a bit of a horror story. Can't really remember. So with the book club ideas, it's really things that I haven't read before. For example, historical drama. That's not really a genre I usually read. So this is kind of to not just me, but also push my friend to try and read some new forms of books. And then here I have my books to check out list. So I know in my bullet journal setup you get to see this, but not really filled in yet. And then I've also added this section, and if I need to, then I'll continue to add more sections if I have a lot of books to check out. So here I have a key to say which one it is. Is it a physical, a Kindle, or an audiobook that I want to check out? And then the little check will be to see if I've read it already. I've made little dots here if I've purchased the books. Most of these books I have, or some of these books I have on Kindle that I've already kind of prepped to read. And there you have it. That is my update for my reading journal for 2024 and beyond. I'll probably be doing another update in a few months, if not at the end of the year, to see how far I've come. I'd like to thank you so much for watching my video today. I hope that you enjoyed this little update from me. I've had a few people ask me to see how I've been using my journal. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a very crafty day. Bye.